Another Group 1 win for trainer John Gosden. What an extraordinary season this is, John. And the Fugue's victory, I suspect you greeted with the words, well, she deserved that.
Yeah, you don't often say it because you don't always get what you deserve in life, as most people who live our life know. But she was knocked over, unfortunately, unnecessarily in the Oaks, and she's proved today how good she is. And she sat there and come and done it well off a reasonable pace, not a strong pace. I think it was a great concern. There would be no pace, small field, and obviously Tom Queally wanted to make sure there was pace, but then he was easing it up. Ryan was there with Was, and then Izzy Top got stacked 3 wide with no cover, which is not ideal. Ran with a choke out the whole way, but Hughes was sitting there slipstreaming and then do his usual cat and mouse between the 3 and the 2 and the 2 and the... I said, when is he going to go? But he did, yeah.
Was that worrying you at that point?
No, Hughesy knows where the finishing post is here, as you've noticed many times. You only have to look at the vintage stakes on Tuesday to know that he knows where the winning post is.
As far as Williams' decision to ride Izzy Top was concerned, was it a decision that surprised you?
No, not in the slightest. I certainly told him that he sort of had to ride it. She was a Group 1 winner, and the forecast was for rain, and the other filly was in doubt of running. And I actually got here early and walked the whole track. Well, to be honest, mile and 1, not the mile and 2. Went 1 mile, 1 furlong, up around the hill and down, and I was satisfied, called Lady Lloyd Webber, and said, I think we should run, it's easy side of good, and so we went and had a run. But her run was in doubt until round about 5 to 2.
And at what point in the race did you think, yes, she's moving the way I'd like her to move on this ground? Because you talked about her action quite a lot.
Quite obvious if you watched Williams' heels that the other filly was taking him on the whole way. He could never get cover in a small field, never be what he wanted, 3 wide. So I thought we're in trouble here the last furlong and a half, so I looked back at the other filly who was just cantering. So I knew then, with knowing the turn of foot she has, that she can do that to them, which she did in the last furlong. She's an exciting filly, and he likes to ride that type.
Is 10 furlongs going to be her optimum from now on?
No, she could go 1.5 miles. Her mother was touched off in the Ribblesdale when it was run at York and Nose. Her first foal won over 2 miles last year, so there's stamina there if you want it, and this filly should probably go to a race like the Yorkshire Oaks if the ground is good or good to firm.
And looking toward the back end of the season, could you run her in a race like the Arc de Triomphe?
On the ground we had last year, yes. On the ground we have had through the summer here, no. Simple as that. It'll be ground dependent, all of that. I think our main aim with her, quite frankly, is Yorkshire Oaks, freshen up, breeders, fillies and mares, Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita, because we're usually guaranteed in Santa Anita fast ground. And I think Andrew Lloyd Webber has a lot of friends there, has a lot of business there, and I think he'd like to run there. So I think it's all about the Yorkshire Oaks and the Breeders' Cup.
Looking forward to seeing her again, John. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Can I walk out with you? Yeah. Well done, Richard Hughes, Group 1 winner on the Fugue. What a spare to get, Hughesy.
Yeah, they don't come around too often, but just glad they went UK-based jockeys for a change.
And just as regards how much you were giving her to do in the straight, was that because of the feel she was giving you through the race?
Yeah, well, the only one I had to beat, I felt, was William, and he was in front of me. And the more I eased her back, the better she was going. She was absolutely loving it when I was filling her up.
So then you could really use that turn of foot. Long time, I'd imagine, since you rode a middle distance filly with that kind of explosive push-button acceleration.
Yeah, very good, very well balanced. Not many moved out well and a change of gear, you know, so it was very nice.
And John was saying he felt that 1.5 miles wouldn't pose any problem to her. She's been third in an Oaks, but the sort of feel she gave you, do you think she's a better filly at 1.25 miles?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, she gets 1.5 miles well. Just after riding around here now, I think she's done very well to finish third in an Oaks. You know, down that hill, it wouldn't have been ideal for her.
And in terms of what might suit her even better, do you think a stronger gallop, a more even gallop, you'd see an even better performance?
Yeah, a good strong gallop, and she arriving there on the bridle, and then quicken. You know, that'd be the ideal scenario.
I'm guessing you think it'd take a very smart 3-year-old filly to go past her at this stage.
Yeah, she looks very good today, and she couldn't have done it any easier. And it was just good that she didn't have a hard race. She had a few hard ones.
Thanks a lot. Well done.
Thank you.